All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2010 to 2012, some of my former students were United States Marines, and they invited me to go on a hike with them every Sunday in the Palos Verdes trails. Tough hike, pretty tough hike for me. A lot of mountains, a lot of hills, a lot of dirt, a lot of rattlesnakes. The Marines didn't care. It wasn't not a big deal to them because, you know, Iraq, Afghanistan, they're marching 14 hours a day with a 100-pound backpack, so this wasn't a big deal to them. And, you know, they liked me. You want to know why they liked me? Because I was their critical thinking instructor in college, and I was helping critical thinking skills for Americans. I was helping, by virtue of teaching critical thinking, I was helping to promote democracy. And by promoting democracy, I was making America a stronger place. And the Marines were making America a stronger place, so we were on the same team. And so they liked me, they let me hike with them. This is 2010, 2012. 2010, my twin daughters were just born. So, after the hike in Palos Verdes, I'd be all sweaty and exhausted, and I'd drive home to Torrance, and I'd have the radio on, 640 KFI, to Leo Laporte, the tech guy. And, you know, he was singing praises to social media at this time, like Twitter, because in 2010 to 2012 there was this thing called the Arab Spring, and Leo Laporte was talking about how social media was this agent of positive change, spreading democracy throughout the world. And I'm thinking to myself, what a great world I live in. Democracy is spreading, social media is fulfilling all the promises that we were led to believe it to do. And so now here I am sitting here with you, and it's 2018 as I make this video. About 2012, you know, 6-8 years have passed. And how's everything going with social media? Is democracy spreading? And the answer is no. The opposite is occurring. Social media is essentially doing the negative. It's spreading totalitarianism. It's made Americans divisive. We don't get along with each other anymore. We exist in our little information silos. And it's I think life is a lot crazier now in 2018 than it was when I was hiking with the United States Marines. Something happened. And, you know, we all have vague ideas of what the craziness is, but I had the privilege of reading a book. I got an advanced copy of LikeWar, the Weaponization of Social Media. This will be published in about a month. The authors are P.W. Singer, Emerson T. Brooking. So these are pretty big time writers. You know, Brooking writes for The Atlantic, Foreign Policy. P.W. Singer is the editor of Popular Science. You know, these guys have some chops. And so LikeWar, the Weaponization of Social Media, pretty much gave me a very clear light bulb moment on why things are completely crazy. And my big takeaway from the book is that we have to look at social media for what it is. And what it is, it's a vector. It's a vector for trolls to spread totalitarian propaganda, especially into democratic societies, to undermine those democracies. That is it. And the 4 takeaways I got from this book are that social media, we didn't really know what it was in 2008, 2010. It was in its infant stage, then it reached its adolescent stage. And these authors, they contend that, guess what, guys? Social media has reached its adult stage. It's completely defined. And what is it? Well, what it is, it's essentially become a battleground for weaponized misinformation for the purpose of dismantling democracies throughout the world. That's what it is. And that's my first takeaway from the book. My second takeaway is that social media is a battlefield for misinformation. Why? Because social media is not a place where you get truth. Social media, by its very nature, takes information and it algorithmically tailors it to conform to your cognitive biases, so that you exist in your little isolated information silo, your little reality bubble, completely disconnected from the next person's reality bubble. So when you repeat what you learned from today's video, here's what I want you to say. I looked at Jeff McMahon's video about this book he's reading, and he said social media is a place where information algorithmically tailors information to conform to your cognitive biases. That is the very essence of social media, and the tech bros don't care. The tech bros who made their billions off of it don't care. That's what it does, which really puts us in a vulnerable state of deception. Third takeaway. I didn't know this until I had to read this book. Information now, you need to look at it differently. It's not information anymore. It's a weapon. Information is a weapon when it's emotionally sticky. That is, it pulls our emotional heartstrings, it controls the narrative, and you can just disseminate this huge viral misinformation bomb and affect people's beliefs and opinions, which can affect elections, policies, and so on. The fourth takeaway, it doesn't matter if we don't like their message or not. Social media is what it is. We can't run away from it. We kind of got shivved, man. We kind of got sucker punched. The trolls are winning the war right now. We can't escape it. We can't put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste tube. We can't put the genie back in the genie bottle. We need to know the nature of social media. It's a battlefield. It's a place of deception. It's a hall of mirrors. It's a place of misinformation designed for the purpose of eroding democracies throughout the world, and they're winning right now. The tech bros at Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else, they're making a ton of money. Either they don't care because they're making big buck, they're getting their paycheck, or they do care, but they got sucker punched too. They didn't anticipate this. This is all new stuff, man. I really recommend you read this book. I think this is probably the most important book I've read so far in 2018. LikeWar, The Weaponization of Social Media by P.W. Singer, Emerson T. Brooking. I don't know them. I don't have a dog in this fight. I just feel that this book brings a lot of clarity to what's happening in the world. Let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I'm out.